It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Miss the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Hey, it's that time of the year. Garage sales, rummage sales, yard sales. How do you have the best sale? Kat thinks that she may have broken the matrix. You should hear this coming up in a couple of seconds. It could make you thousands. Here comes the podcast.
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo!
Bingo what bingo?
Bingo!
The rules for listener bingo are pretty simple. The first person that gets through gets the bingo, but you've got to fit one of the following two criteria. Maybe you're somebody listening who
has had to have the birds and the bees conversation with your child. I think it's time with this one.
I think babies come out from your head.
That's right. That's how it happens. You're so smart.
Spot on.
Mommy.
My dad had told me when I was young, and I had asked this. My sister is about 4.5 years younger than I am, and he had said, "Oh, somebody just drops him off." And I think he was just obviously he was just playing around, and I was like, where do babies come from? He's like, oh, somebody just dropped your daughter off, or your sister off. And so when I got a little bit older, I had told my sister that she was just left at our door, like we adopted her.
Yeah,
she thought that for 10 years, and my dad played along with it for 10 years. It was a beautiful little back and forth.
I got clinical with Liam. I said, Virginas. That's it. I gave it to him straight. And that's how he pronounces it to this day. No, I'm just kidding. But I was very straightforward. I just feel like I don't want my baby to have a baby yet. I want him to do it his right way. And so I give it to him straight.
So you're under the belief system that if he knows the clinical way to get pregnant and have a baby, he won't have a baby while he's in high school?
Well, yeah, I just say, over the sweater stuff, how fun. Making out is so fun. But anything else is just such a slope you don't want to get down. I deal with facts. Like when Reagan wouldn't put her hat on when I was babysitting her that one time and I showed her pictures of frostbite people. Like that stuff makes an impact.
So you're looking for anyone listening who
has had the birds and the bees conversation with your kid. How'd that go?
I'm looking for anyone listening who...
Did I say Virginia?
It threw me off. I was trying to remember what I was going to talk about.
Oh.
I completely lost my train of thought.
You want to think of a different one?
Oh, that's got out of their comfort zone lately. My friend Kirby never acted before, and he was Pharaoh in a play about Moses.
What made him do that?
I don't know.
Just felt it?
Yeah.
This is my calling. I need to be that character.
His last kid is about ready to graduate, so I'm assuming he's going to think about, how am I going to spend my time? And maybe he was challenged by someone else. I don't know. But I was like, I respected the hell out of it because I could never get up there and do that. So you really either got out of your comfort zone or you had the birds and bees conversation lately. We want to hear either of these stories. Shelby is first through, but we don't know yet if she's somebody listening who
has had to have the birds and the bees conversation. Like, I don't know when is too young to start, but lead them in the right direction.
I think babies come out from your head.
That's right. That's how it happens. You're so smart.
Mommy.
What's that one scene in Knocked Up where she's like, aliens come down and they put and then they dig
they
in your
poop the
butt.
baby down and
They take the baby out and she goes, exactly.
I'm looking for anyone listening who got really, really out of their comfort zone. This morning I got to tip my cap to my buddy Kirby, he played Pharaoh in a play.
Did he do a good job?
I didn't get to it. It only ran a couple of nights and we had baseball all those nights. Oh. But from everything that I've heard, it went really, really, really well. And I'm just like, I could never get on stage and play something like that.
Yeah.
I don't mind freewheeling it here on the radio for a few hours every morning, but I don't want to be.
I wonder what happens with us, because I used to be in community theater when I was younger, and now I would just die. I don't have it in my body. I'd feel nervous.
I don't want people to see me serious.
Yeah.
That's just a bad look. Shelby, which one do you fit this morning?
The birds and the bees.
Let's go.
Okay.
Now, how old are the birds and bees recipients?
It's my oldest, and he's almost 10.
Okay, how'd that go?
So I've always been honest with him as long as he's asked, mommies have eggs, daddies have tadpoles, they meet and make a baby, and that satisfied his answer for the longest time. And then one day we were driving home, and he's just back there thinking, and he's like, well, how do they meet? And I'm just like...
What a great question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a special hug.
Oh!
And he's just like, okay. And then he was thinking in the back seat, and he's like, but I was an accident. And I'm like,
How does he know he was an accident? Do you yell that when he's in trouble?
No, his dad told him we weren't together. And yeah,
oh my God, what a monster. That's awful.
So I'm like, well, I tell him he was a special surprise.
Yeah,
but,
there you go.
Yeah, that's better.
That's better.
Yeah. He's like, well, I was in an accident. I'm like, yep, you are.
Oh my God.
Sometimes grown-ups do it for fun, but it always has the chance of a baby. So you got to be super careful. You got to make sure, yada, yada, yada. And he's just sitting back there. And he's like, okay. He's quiet for a long time. And I thought, okay, we're good. And he's like, well, what's it called? I'm like,
He's a smart kid.
I know. Well, he rides a bus with high schoolers too, so I feel like he might hear something. So I just told him what it was called. I'm like, this is what it's called, Preston. Leave me alone now.
And here's the thing.
Like, we're over it. We're done.
Have you ever gotten the call from another parent being like, your kid told my kid this stuff? Because my parents would get that all the time. They'd be like, your son told Johnny that this is how babies are made. And my mom would be like, his dad is an Army guy and they shoot it pretty straight. And
the bus is just like the best learning tool ever. I learned so much on the bus. Yeah.
Yeah. If you drive your kids to and from school, you're sheltering them from some amazing things.
I absolutely am. My son has never taken the bus. He took the bus one day. I was like, you're not going back on the bus.
And do you think Preston went to school and told all his friends how babies were made then?
He's in the car.
Preston, can you hear us?
Oh.
Can you hear them? He said yes.
Preston, do you think you've got a firm grip on how babies are made now? Yeah.
We won't talk about it.
Did you tell all your friends how babies are made?
No.
He's ignoring us now.
Do it today. As soon as you get to school today, I want you to open up the conversation. Guys, come here around my locker. I got to show you something.
I got a tale to tell. Energy Secretary Chris Wright said yesterday that President Trump is all about helping Americans save some money at the gas pump.
All measures that can be taken to lower the price at the pump and lower the prices for Americans, this administration is in support of.
Wasn't last week you had said that gas, or at least that oil had went under $100 a barrel?
It
so
did.
we should be seeing some relief soon, right?
Well, no. Gas experts say it's going to be like 6 months before we see any type of reprieve. Ooh. It's now, over 4, I think 418 on my way in.
Put the air in the tires of my bike.
Yeah, very expensive. Okay, so you see Spirit Airlines midnight ghost everybody, and there were a lot of people that flew Spirit all the time, so they had all these Spirit Airlines loyalty points, and now you can redeem them for free Papa John's pizza. So they're calling it Skies to Pies. So
smart on. You think Papa John was like a big investor in Spirit, or you think he just saw an opportunity to get more business? That's a great idea.
Maybe. So they hopped on board. You just message Papa John's on Instagram, show the rewards and the redeemable code for a pie.
Imagine if you were flying Spirit all the time and now you got like Papa John's for the rest of the year for free.
Ooh, nice. I've had dreams that start that way. All right, so the CEO of Uber, Dara Krakowski, he is talking about how it's even hard for him to get a 5-star rating.
It is a 4.81 now. I still have to build it up. I think I'm on the phone too much when I'm in the car. I asked the driver, do you mind if I make a phone call? But, I'm working on it. I'm increasing it.
This dude can't get a 5-star rating.
Do you, when you're in an Uber, find that they are on the phone to avoid talking to you? Because I've had that in almost every single Uber experience, that they're on the phone with somebody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had that.
Really? That they're on their private Bluetooth. They're not like talking, throughout the car.
Yeah.
But they're talking to
really
somebody.
Attentive Uber drivers. Unless they don't really speak English very well, then they just kind of hold their own and they get me where I need to go.
Yeah. If you have a bottle of water for me, what a win. If I were you, go to Sam's, get the mini bottles of water, keep them in your trunk, and every single time you go to do a pickup, you will get a better rating.
The only time I've ever given anyone less than a 5-star was when they didn't load our luggage. And they didn't they just sat there and waited. And I said, can you pop the trunk? And I had to do everything myself.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit weird.
At that point, you must not care. You're just like, well, I'm here to make a buck.
My wife and I, we had a couple of things that we mopped up, and then we kind of got done early. And she goes, hey, do you want to go out and get some dinner? So we're like, yep. I don't know what happened over about the last year. If you go to a bar and grill, do you usually sit at a table or do you belly up to the bar?
Bar and grill, table.
My wife really loves sitting at the bar right now. She's become she chats up all the locals.
And
she's
done with you.
She really wants to get into their business.
Yeah.
So she's like, I said, hey, let's go. We'll get a pizza or a burger or something like that. And she's like, I go belly up or sit at the table. Well, she just walks right to the bar. Right? She sits down and so we're talking to these people, and I don't even know how the conversation arose, but the one guy goes, yeah, like, it could be, just people around here are all from the same, they never leave because it could be because of the orphan train. Have you ever heard of an orphan train?
What's an orphan train? They just drop them all off?
So I asked the same thing. I was like, wait, what's an orphan train? And
it happened between 1854 and 1929. The orphan train movement transported 250,000 children to all parts of the Midwest and the West. Oh, it's so sad.
So the best I could understand, and maybe you can correct me on this, is let's say you were in an orphanage and somebody showed interest in you and they came down and they saw you and they wanted to adopt you. You would get on this train and you would know where your stop is.
Yeah.
And then they would pick you up at your stop instead of bringing you home from the orphanage.
I shouldn't say that this is sad because it was initiated by this guy named Charles Brace, and it was all for the Children's Aid Society to provide them with better lives for homeless and orphan kids. So the point was, if you were in your area, and someone on the West Coast wanted you, you at least knew somebody wanted you, and that's where you were going. So I shouldn't say sad.
They said, like, up where I live, it was like a real hot spot for the orphan train. And every month or however many weeks, kids would get on this train and then just take the train to whatever city where if there was a stop there, then a whole bunch of families would be waiting for orphans to get off the train.
Most of them came from New York. That's where the dense population of orphans came from. I can't even imagine that life.
I know it was 100 years ago. But when they started talking about it, I was taken aback. And all these people were talking about it like it was just no big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm glad a bunch of these kids. Here's the reason they started talking about it. The one guy said, I was at one of these outdoor dances one summer when I was a kid and found a girl I was really attracted to and then found out she was my cousin. And he goes, I think that happened a lot around here, except for the kids that came on the orphan train. Yeah. And that's when I went, wait, what? A train full of orphans? And apparently it would stop and the orphans would get off and they would say, here's your new family.
Almost everybody is dead by now.
Yeah.
If
you were an orphan 100 years ago,
But isn't
that a crazy concept?
It's really crazy just hearing stories from back then. It's totally normal for them. But there was a woman on the news the other day whose mom shipped her in a crate because it was cheaper out to live with her aunt for the summer, packed her some snacks in this wooden crate. And she was put on a train because it was cheaper than to buy her a train ticket. They mailed her out to Aunt Ellen's for the summer to have fun out there. And then you get back in the crate and you get back on the train. What the hell?
So the other thing he had said is that in the area I live in, there were so many men that were marrying their first cousins. And they knew that there was a very high chance of deformity with a child, that they would not have children of their own, but they needed people to run the farm like you would have kids. Mm-hmm. And they would adopt like 6 kids at a time. They'd get on the orphan train. A week later, they'd pick them up and they had, they'd give them a good life.
Child slaves.
Well, but I guess, is that what you call a kid that grows up on a farm?
You purchase these children to work on your farm?
Well, you needed people to work. You were giving them a good life. It was probably better than the orphanage. They were getting 3 hot meals and a bedroom.
Okay.
Who doesn't work for a living?
Why don't you ask them?
But I was just, I don't know. I would guess working at a farm, earning your keep, and getting 3 hot meals and a little love would be better than the orphanage.
That could be true. Yesterday, my brother was so kind. He took me and my mom and my son out for lunch at Ichido Ramen, one of my mom's favorite places to go.
A ramen place.
And they have like different styles of ramen bowls, and they have like other delicacies like bao, pork sandwiches, stuff like that. Boba teas. So he takes us out. It's a Japanese restaurant. Okay. All the people working there, Japanese. And so Liam is going crazy on his ramen and he's slurping. And they were kind of looking at him like he was being a little loud.
Like a piggish American?
But my mom has always said she worked in Japan. She worked in Tokyo for like 15 years and every single summer. And that is fine. If you slurp your soup.
That's like a compliment to the chef?
Yeah, it's totally acceptable. It's not rude.
Huh.
Here it's rude, I guess. But I'm like, my son was immersing himself in the culture. He was diving all in on all
slurping like the Japanese would slurp.
Exactly. And so I just thought it was, I know that, most of these kids that work there are Japanese, but I mean, Japanese American. So, I mean, maybe it's just not part of their culture anymore. But I just thought it was kind of straight because they were like looking at him. And my mom like kind of nudged him and she was like, not here, not here. He goes, then where? Where else can I do it? I just thought it was kind of strange.
And he didn't correct him. He didn't say, Liam, shh.
Well, it was annoying me because I'm like perimenopause. So like everything annoys me.
But yet you'll sit over here and slurp something or crunch something or burp 15 times during the show.
I do
and
not
that doesn't
burp.
bother you.
I do not burp. Your lies are atrocious.
Lies make baby Jesus cry.
I don't know. It was just kind of interesting yesterday because, like, I thought we're supposed to immerse ourselves in certain cultures. And he wasn't doing it to mock anything. He wasn't doing it like, I'm in Japan, so I'm going to slurp. But
why don't other countries like that have manners like we have? Why is it okay to be slurping that stuff in
I don't
Japan?
mind if people slurp. Like, if I go to Japan and someone's slurping.
I'm moving tables. If I sit,
You would?
If my child started slurping like that, I'd move tables.
That's
I wouldn't
part
even.
of their culture. Like, they accept it over there.
But it's not the culture here. Mind your friggin' manners. Keep your elbows off the table.
And quit slurping?
And quit slurping.
Oh, I just thought it was really interesting that
You're
they were
raising a Neanderthal.
side-eyeing him.
I would have side-eyed him too. And then I'd have
away.
moved. End of the year for school kids, and teachers are going to join the show at 7:20 Tuesday morning during the live show with the most ridiculous thing they've heard this year. Can't wait for that. Plus, tons of cash Tuesday morning during our live show as we wrap up our podcast now. You decided you got a bunch of old crap and you didn't want to sell it on Facebook Marketplace and then get made fun of on the radio for months and months because you couldn't sell something and everybody started messaging you saying, is this still available? You decided to have a big garage or rummage sale. What's your secrets?
I want to know because we are going to throw ours. Our citywide is going to be June 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th.
Thursdays are the best days.
Thursdays are the best days. And then I told Liam, you run it the whole time. You get all the money. Go buy basketball shoe. I don't care what you do with the money. Don't even care. Just get it out of here. And then by Sunday afternoon, if we didn't sell everything, we're going to do what we normally do. Put it at the end of the driveway, shut the garage door.
Free. Leave
It's
me
all
alone.
gone. And but then my sister is trying to clear out her house, and my brother came up with the best idea because she's been packing up everything she wants, bringing it up to her up north house, and she's renting this house out. And he said, all you have to do is get everything out of the house that you don't want. Anything in the house, you just sit outside, tan, and then during your citywide garage sale, which is next weekend, I guess,
Make me an offer.
just go in and grab it. And then I go, no one's going to leave and not give you anything. So they'll throw you a 10 spot, but they might have a whole bunch of stuff. You just have to be willing to. And she goes, I don't even care. Whatever's in my house, they can have. And I said, that is brilliant. Or he goes, put out some signs that say, rob me. And then just leave the front door open and just have them take it. So Dina says, only sell items in working order because that word gets out. Clean anything, wash your clothing.
Wait. What do you mean that word gets out? Like you talk to other garage sailors?
Like, I don't know. I don't know. But she said, and if you have clothing, hang them on a rack. Yes, that is the easiest way. Kelly says, organize items by category. I love going. And there's kitchen stuff here, tools here, books here, makes it easier. And then Gail says, team up with neighbors. We do multifamily sales every 2 years. And our neighbor has a shed that throughout the year, we put stuff in there and we price it. And then so when it's time to do the sale, we just open the doors. That sounds amazing. That's a planner right there. So those are good tips.
The secret to ours is we bundled a lot. Like we had all these old VHS movies, right? And I remember I had CDs, so many CDs. And I said, 20 of them, $2.
I think the one that you made a lot of money on, you had a lot of kids' clothes.
Yeah.
Like you had bins and bins of kids' clothes. So those ones, those are good sales.
And my wife she had saved a whole bunch of plastic bags from like Target or something.
Yeah.
And with the kids' clothes, she'd say, whatever you can get in the bag for $10.
Fill a bag.
And
Brilliant.
And it went like hotcakes. People were coming back. They'd grab something, $10. They get to the car and they'd be like, nope, I got to go get more.
I know.
And they would get another $10 bag. And it was easy for us because they just took what they wanted. And all of a sudden, it all shrunk down. And next thing you know, we're counting it up. And I was like, when we hit over $1,000, I was like, let's go. We should be having one of these all the time.
That was exciting. So I want to have a successful one. I have our office downstairs. That's where I've been putting things over the last year. I'm like, how do I still have stuff in my house that I don't want? Like, that wasn't the point last summer. I tried to get rid of everything.
I think the secret really is to bundle stuff. Just $10, everything on this table, or you know what I mean? Or like everything in this area is $1 a piece. Everything in this area is 50 cents per. And then they can just look at it and they don't have to look to see what the price tag is on everything.
Right.
And that's the hardest part. But then again, you keep them there a little bit longer. And when you drive by one of these sales, if you see a bunch of people, aren't you more tempted to go in?
So what I think our saving grace is going to be, I'm going to have Liam have a tag board at his little money table. And it's going to say, I'm saving up for basketball shoes. Nobody's going to look at a child and say.
And then have him dress all disheveled.
Yeah.
Dirt on his face.
Please, could I have some more?
Only one shoelace.
Eating porridge.
Kat, JJ, and a little forgiveness on the radio this morning.
They say it's healthy. They say it's good for your body. Nature Portfolio Journal, they teamed up with mental health research, and they came up with the findings that it does suggest that forgiveness will help one's well-being. People who were more forgiving tend to do a little better across a range of outcomes over a year than the people that were holding the grudges, that refused to forgive somebody for a misstep. I think there are levels to forgiveness. If somebody does something that is like so horrific to you, no, I don't think so. I don't think you have to. I think you have to move on, though.
How many grudges are you holding right now? I mean, honest, legitimate, you will never forgive that person grudges are you holding on to?
Never forgive them?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never forget, but just one. If somebody does me dirty and like is out to get me, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I say I have one too.
Okay. Once you have that in your body, like, or somebody has that in their fiber of their being, you're like, you're capable of doing maybe a little bit more.
Most people, I think, you can make a mistake, but if you make the same one and it's vicious over and over and over again with intent to hurt,
that's who you are.
Then
that's what I think.
Then I'm not good on forgiving that. Adam, who should you be forgiving here? Who do you got a grudge on?
I think that I had a hard time forgiving my brother, as he had taken a line of work that I had set up for me. I had him work with me, and I used to do entertainment production, and he undercut me with all of my clients, and he took every one of my venues, which was a big source of my income.
Why would your brother do that?
At the time, I was blind. I was really upset, of course, because, I had just finished moving, got a new apartment and everything. I was really relying on it. But he was doing it because he had a baby on the way, and he was panicking.
Okay. Well, also a conversation could have happened.
Right, but we are predominantly a Latino family, and communication is not.
I want to blame it on my heritage. I love it.
Yeah, they were very, very guilt-trippy. So it took a few years and understanding how much that was there. And I kind of realized that if the world is falling apart around you, it's because it was waiting for me to build a new one. So I couldn't hold on to that grudge.
Wow, that is very mature of you.
That was awesome. I love the way you said that. So when you're dating a guy, I think there's a bunch of different red flags. Number one, if he's still living at mom's house and he's past 30, probably a red flag. If he's had several divorces before 30, probably a red flag. Yeah. If you Google him and the first thing that pops up is his mugshot, probably a red flag.
Some women will be like, oh my God, I'm going to fix that.
But if he says, I'm hard to love, is that really a red flag?
When we got Crystal's text, she said, I've dated all types of personalities, but this guy I've been seeing for about a month and a half has said something multiple times. I'm kind of stuck on it, but it's not a deal breaker. But he keeps saying that he's not easy to love, that he's been told multiple times that he's very hard to love. And she went on, and because I was going back and forth with her, and I said, well, what are these signs that would lead you to believe that he's like really hard to love? And she just said, I don't see any yet. Like, he's very courteous. He's a great conversation. He's really polite. He's nice. He's really hot. And sometimes if someone looks really good, we ignore some of those red flags. They look a little pinkish, you know? And so if somebody is saying that, they're telling you, they're being extremely honest that people have had a hard time making a relationship work with them.
But maybe that's their filter. Like, I'm not going to put in a bunch of time into this relationship if you're not putting time into it too.
What do you mean?
Well, they're like, you know, if they say they're hard to love, then you really got to love them to stick it out. Maybe they don't want you if you're not really going to love them.
You're only 40 days in, Crystal. You're only 40 days in. This sounds like a lot of work. It shouldn't be this hard already.
I'll tell you, when I was in my 20s, if I met a girl and she was hot and she said I was hard to love, that sounded like a challenge to me.
You're like, let's see how hard you are.
I'm going to love you harder.
I'm going to love you the hardest.
You're going to get so much love. But is that honestly a turnoff for you? Is that a challenge? Is that you're like, I'm not going to get into this relationship if they say I'm hard to love?
I honestly do not blame him. He is like being so honest. And maybe he's being honest and then seeing what she'll do with it. You know, like maybe she wants to try to make it work with him.
Rachel, is this a big red flag?
Oh, I would be like, girl, run. He's telling you.
He's literally handing her a red flag, right?
Yeah, because there's something there. If you keep saying it over and over again, even if it's just low self-esteem, that means he still has a lot of working on himself to do, and it's going to depend on you to make him feel better about everything. So I would say that's the best case scenario. Worst case is he's totally crazy, going to make your life like...
And I'm not even mad. He's like being honest. You know,
which
he's
is
like,
this whole scenario is crazy because like women never want to date crazy and guys almost explicitly want to date crazy. You know what I mean? Like just to see it from the other vantage point.
Yeah.
And how women are like, no, I don't want any part of this. Where a guy, if you flip this around, if that girl is hot and she's crazy, that's like the perfect.
That's not true. Like women love to go, oh, let's fix this guy, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different. I think that women want to nurture, and yes, they want to feel, and I've been guilty of this too, you want to feel like you can fix him.
Yeah.
But with men, when they want to date crazy, it's like what you said. It's this like, almost like this fantasy of like hot, crazy girl. It's not really realistic, and it's not a threat to their safety.
No, fair
where
enough.
a crazy guy could
kill you. Just
tell me something good.
All right, so we're going to start off with an inspo story. This is from a 7-year-old student in Rhode Island. His name is Samir Santana, and he is being hailed as a hero. He saved a classmate's life.
I saw him choking. My teacher told me to calm down and everyone sit down. She said she's going to call for help. And then I came and ran and did the Heimlich on him.
I was shocked. Obviously, as a 7-year-old, I don't really expect for him to know something like that. There was really no words.
Love that.
What a great like family night thing to do. Like go to your community education booklet, and they have those like Heimlich maneuver, CPR, that you kids soak things up. And you never know if you're sitting there as a parent eating a cutie and it gets lodged and your 7-year-old saves you. I think that's pretty amazing. That is what's good.
Tell me something good.
How about you, Kat? What's good in your life today?
Liam is back at it this week. So he sprained his ankle and it was like really purple and big at his basketball tournament the other day. So he took all last week off, had total FOMO, couldn't run track. So this week, track meet today, basketball, lifting, back at it. And it's just weird when you have nothing to do after school. I don't like it. I don't like the idle time. I love knowing that he's like with friends and doing fun, active things. So he's excited. So we're going to watch that today. That is what's good.
Tell me something good.
I'm going to do two things. Number one, I got to see the venue finally yesterday that my son and my soon-to-be daughter-in-law are getting married at this summer, and it was awesome. So I'm very, very excited about that. And then my daughter, Thursday, she came to my other son's baseball game, and I'm like, so how much actual class do you have left? She's a senior in college. She goes, actually, I finished my last final today.
No way.
And she's like, I don't have to take the final I have in physics because we drop our worst score. and I have a 98 in the class. So, like, it's not going to get better for me, so I'm not going to go to the final. And so she's, like, done with her undergraduate. And just to kind of see her being able to look forward to, her doctorate program. And the biggest complaint she has is that it starts in, like, a month. And that she doesn't get to lay around the lake for all summer. And I'm just really, really proud of it because she ground through and did amazing. So for me, that's what's good.
Tell me something good.
Maxwell, appreciate you joining the show, man. What's good in your life?
Oh, something good right now is that I am working.
Oh, and you were not for a while.
No, I got laid off at the beginning of January due to just getting laid off, having a boss who, in hindsight, didn't know how to run a business.
Yeah, have you ever had that, Kat? Have you ever been a part of that? Where your boss was so stupid, you suffered for it? Are you looking at me?
No, I'm not looking at you. They're gone now. But yeah, it is really tough. It's tough to know that somebody is making way more money than you and they're just a turd. That's the worst.
Have you ever been displaced? Like your home wasn't available to live in after a storm or anything like that?
Well, we were, like, when we moved into this house that we're in right now 5 years ago, we were displaced in this hotel over here.
Just because the house wasn't done?
It wasn't, we weren't allowed to move in yet. So we moved out of ours. We had everything in 2 U-Hauls. And they were just waiting for the word go. And we had to stay there for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. Liam was running around like Eloise, like it was his own private hotel.
So I didn't realize this, but a lot of people start posting on Craigslist or different websites ahead of hurricane season. And I had a friend send me this Craigslist post. Now imagine you live in a spot that is commonly hit hard by a hurricane. And you're trying to get out ahead of things this hurricane season. So you look for a home to maybe stay in for a couple of weeks. Listen to this post. Free room during hurricanes. Offering up 1 spare bedroom during hurricane season for the right type of person. House is quiet, except for the occasional basement noises and the grandfather clock that only chimes at 3:17 a.m. I prefer someone who doesn't ask too many questions and understands that some doors in the house remain closed at all times for, quote, insurance reasons. Wi-Fi included, though certain websites seem blocked after midnight for reasons Comcast refuses to explain. You must be comfortable around exotic birds and mannequins named Cheryl. She sits at the kitchen table during meals with me.
There's more?
No smoking, no strong perfumes, and absolutely no discussing the previous tenant situation with neighbors.
Like, where did they go? Why did they disappear?
Rent.
What is that mound of black soil in the backyard?
Rent is negotiable if you help move the heavy truck into the crawl space this weekend. How do you get a truck into a crawl space?
Trunk or truck?
Truck, it says. Maybe it means trunk.
I think they meant
But
trunk.
like some of these houses are built on, stilts in hurricane area. But is that considered a crawl space? I guess I don't know.
What a weird posting.
Please send recent photo and blood type in.
Oh my God.
In reply, so I can speed up the paperwork.
Listen, this could be lucrative if you live inland and you have somewhere where you have multiple units or multiple rooms and you'd like to help people out. But do you hold on to the money until the storm comes and goes, or?
What's the weirdest part about that for you?
The mannequin.
For me, it was don't ask the neighbors any question about the previous tenants. As you heard that, what was the weirdest part for you? I mean, there's a lot of reasons I wouldn't rent from this guy, but then there's a lot of reasons I might.
I've never rented
birds?
from anybody crazy, thankfully.
Don't you remember when you had the roommate and all she did was cook with curry?
I didn't rent from her. She was just up in the attic with me. And I think I saw
listen
her
to
the
that
other
statement.
day.
Listen to that statement. I didn't rent from her. She was just up in the attic cooking curry-based foods with me.
And I was so, I had just started here. I was so young. I was 21. I was so poor. My doing, because I got paid well, but then I'd spend it all. But I would steal her food from the fridge, and then she'd like knock on my door at all hours of the night asking if I took her food.
Where her food was?
I was like, what? She's like, did you take my... I'm like, no, I just got home.
And it was just you two sharing a refrigerator, so obviously you did it.